Basically, we're 5 movies into the Grinch franchise at this point. It's gone through a lot of studios. So, the opening scene is basically, it's the Grinch. He's sort of at a bar. He's leaned back in one of the bar booths. His legs are crossed. He has his fingers steepled and he's plotting something.
Yeah, it's his classic Grinch face, smiling.
Yeah, he has a Grinch face. Well, no, that happens later.
Oh, okay,
That's
sorry.
sort of a big moment.
He's got like a very like annoyed look on his face.
Yeah, the Grinch is sort of annoyed, and basically, what you don't know is that in the last couple movies, the Grinch has sort of gone through an arc, right? Yes. In the last film, he married Zendaya.
Yeah.
Grinch and Zendaya are established characters. Zendaya and him got together at the end of the 3rd movie. Mm-hmm. Then the 4th movie, they had sort of like a, will this work out?
Trouble, yeah.
But then it did at the end. But now he's cucked.
Yes.
And basically, the opening shot is Zendaya and who's the character? Who's the new character that they've added?
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit, a green character.
Yeah.
She's clearly got a type. So Kermit the Frog, basically, he's sitting on a stool. He's talking with Zendaya. She's laughing. She's laughing clearly for the first time in a really long time.
In years.
And it pans over to the back corner, and the Grinch. You don't know it's the Grinch yet because it's just a guy holding a.
He's got like a jacket on.
He's got like a menu in front of his face for the bar, I guess.
This
is an Olive Garden. They're at the bar.
They're at the Olive Garden. He's at the bar.
Grinch is at a booth staring at Zendaya and Kermit at the bar, and like you can tell it's the Grinch, but like it's still sort of a reveal whenever he reveals his face. He puts the menu down, and he's got an angry Grinch face. Excellent. Fantastic.
Yes.
So the Grinch, he's sort of tapping his fingers against the table. I'm gonna be honest. He's aroused at this. He's turned on by the fact that Zendaya is cucking him with Kermit the Frog.
I can't believe my one true love would
the
find
Grinch's
someone
penis
else.
grew 8 sizes that day. And he's sitting there. He's sort of the reason his penis is so big is, and you would know this if you saw the second film where he started joking. And that's been like a background element.
Yes.
And it's building up. And this is actually the first time you've seen his penis since the first movie.
Yes.
We've all seen the Elimination Grinch movie.
Yep.
He does show his penis briefly, and it's not very big. It's not very impressive. In fact,
these are all Illumination.
Yeah, Cindy Lou who points and laughs.
Yes.
She's like, that penis is smaller than my vagina. And the Grinch gets so mad and he beats her to death.
Yes. It was a classic moment from the first movie.
It is. It's like sort of one of the most, it's like the traumatic.
Yes, it's what
impetus.
Sets the scene.
Yeah.
The catalyst.
The catalyst. That's the subtitle for the first film.
Yeah.
Grinch. The catalyst. This one is called Grinch.
Revenge.
How the Grinch got his Grinch back. So the Grinch is sitting there. He's like, I'm real Grinched off right now.
Yeah. His fur is like shaking and stuff. He's so angry.
So he's like, I'm going to hire a hitman to kill Zendaya.
I'm going to kill my wife.
Okay, you're like, he's talking to the hitman, and he's like, are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you have the balls for this?
I'm completely ready for this, sir. You're the one that hired me.
A bullet flies through the fucking window, kills Zendaya, kills Kermit. Those characters are both dead now.
They'll never.
This is a hard reset. This is it's like a soft reboot now.
What if it's the Cat in the Hat?
Well, I think actually that the hitman should be more of an intense character. The hitman is probably his name is Max Gunn.
Max Gunn.
He's played by
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Max
Gunn played by Ryan Reynolds. It's Ryan Reynolds' face superimposed onto The Rock's body.
Yes.
That's Max Gunn.
It's just a copy
he
of Free Guy.
assassinated. What he has is he has a power. His power is to make his finger get really long. And he made his finger get really long. and go into Zendaya's brain.
Yes, he
And
like
he
tickles it.
he shook her around
Yeah.
and turned it to applesauce, and he shrinks it back and he's like, tasty.
And then the Grinch looks in horror because he thought he would have more time to like see Zendaya.
The Grinch, he gasps, and
He
you
gasps.
you think it's in horror, but he's actually coming.
Yeah. And he looks over, and Ryan Reynolds or Max Gunn
Max
looks
Gunn.
at him, and he curls his finger, and it curls really long.
He curls his long finger, and it like scrapes against the ceiling.
Yeah, it's just,
And like everybody in the Olive Garden that just saw him kill both Zendaya and
like
Kermit,
screaming and losing
they're
their
like
shit.
screaming, but they're actually very excited because Max Gunn is sort of like a cool guy. And basically, what happens is they're leaving now. The Grinch just gets up and goes over and he's like, "Hey, thanks." And, like they're walking to their car, and then the Grinch looks and he sees like poking out behind the bushes. There's a little goblin creature, and he's like, "Wait, hold on, what was that?" Because
Don't tell me.
goblins don't exist in this universe.
Yes.
So he's like, "What? Goblins? Those
Was
aren't
that a
real.
trick of the eyes?
That must have been a trick of my eyes." Like Max Gunn is like, "You're seeing things, dude."
Come on, man, get real.
Yeah.
You gotta stick to reality. And he uses his finger to like unlock his car.
He like has to like he puts his hand all the way down and lifts his finger up to pick his nose.
Yeah. So you gotta stick to reality, bro. So the Grinch.
You gotta stop thinking with that. His finger extends and wraps around the Grinch's penis.
Yeah.
And start thinking with that. And
Yeah.
he points and he pokes him in the brain.
Yes. So now the Grinch, he's been enthralled by this goblin creature he's seen.
Yeah, he's like he's really like, okay, well, here's the thing. At first, he's not really sure about it.
He's like, maybe it was a trick. And so he goes home.
But then they're like, the Max Gunn is driving him in his Jeep, and like the Grinch looks out the back window, and there's a little gobbo chasing them.
There's like scampering on the
Yeah,
ground.
he's like,
Yeah.
and he's like, what the fuck is, like, seriously?
It's like, Max, do you see that in the rearview mirror? And like he looks back
And
and
Max
he's
is
like,
like,
"Must be
I'm
a-"
looking at the road, dude. I'm practicing road safety.
And then so then Grinch is like, look through your rearview mirror. And like, so Max does, and he's like,
Yeah.
it's just a fucking dog.
Yeah,
The goblin is like very obviously like
the
spazzing
goblin,
out.
Yeah, the goblin is spazzing. It's sort of a spasm goblin.
yes.
The
So-
Grinch. So like the Grinch basically goes home to his 4x4 apartment,
Yeah.
and
It's actually
he's sort of
conveniently-
slumped on his bed,
Yes.
and he pulls out his big greasy
Grinch
belly.
belly.
His big Grinch belly, and he's picking his belly. He's looking at the little lint. He's looking at the
And like it's like a close up shot of his finger, and then like it out focuses of his finger, and there's like a goblin in the corner of his room.
it focuses out, and like his finger sprouts two goblin ears. Puts
Oh,
his finger
no.
down. It's a goblin.
Yes.
And the goblin's like, I have a proposition for you.
He's like, "What are you doing in my house?"
The goblin's like, I have a proposition for you. And then he sort of puts the Grinch's big red penis head into his mouth.
Yeah. The Grinch is
And the Grinch is like, oh, what are you doing?
Stop.
Oh, Gobbo, cut it out. Gobbo, stop.
And then like right before the Grinch is
Gobbo.
about to come,
And that
he
then
runs
the
away.
Grinch's theme starts playing. And it's
Yeah.
like, Grinch, 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 as he's getting sucked up
Yeah.
by a goblin. Grinch, 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 Grinch. Grinch, Grinch. I am the Grinch.
Yeah.
It's like shots of like sweeping shots of like they set up the camera rig from the Matrix.
Yeah.
Where it's like scanning their whole bodies and like it's spinning around the Grinch at like 40 miles an hour while he's getting sucked up by this little goblin creature. And it's playing his theme song super loud.
And then like right before the Grinch is about to come from this most pleasurable experience, the goblin disappears. And the Grinch is like, "No, I need this."
It's like, no, fuck.
A fire grows in the heart of the Grinch.
A fire. The Grinch's fire heart grows 6 sizes that day.
Yes. So I need to find these goblins.
I need to find these fucking goblins. I need to find it, and I need to kill it. Because he wants to kill the guy. He wants to kill the guy. He's confused.
Yes, he's
Like,
like,
he's very upset, actually. That,
no
like,
creature should have this much
he's
power
like-
over me.
like, it it's almost more upsetting to him that he enjoyed it.
Yes.
Like that's like
he's ashamed of
he's
himself.
like it's like very much a film about like deviancy.
Yes.
And like just people's like reflexive impulse and like that sort of thing. It's almost like a metaphor, right? And like he's like really struggling with his identity and like his immediate impulse is to lash out in anger.
Yes.
At this revelation that he enjoyed it whenever the gobbo put his penis in his mouth.
So now we need to
cut to cut to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
Superman watches with a concerned expression. I should kill the Grinch.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like that green fucker.
I don't like. He's green. He's mean, and he's got one heck of a peen, thanks to all that jelking he does. Unfortunately, my Kryptonian blood prevents me from being able to make the micro tears in my penis necessary for jelking to work. So my penis is stuck at the size that it's at.
So he's jealous of the Grinch.
Yeah, he's sort of he's a jealous character, and he's jealous of the Grinch because, and like he also, he in an alpha male sort of way, wants like is like annoyed that the Goblin would choose the Grinch over him.
Yeah, he's like, what about me? I'm literally Superman.
Yeah, so like it's sort of this film about like these insecurities in like the way that people identify themselves with like these cultural norms.
Yes.
Like Superman, he views himself as this sort of platonic male.
Yeah.
And like while he would find the gobbo disgusting, at the same time he wants the gobbo to find him desirable.
Exactly.
And
not the Grinch, because he hates the
Grinch is a beta male.
Yeah.
It's really, I hate to say it in those terms, but he is the stereotypical beta male, hunched over, joking at his computer, while gooning out. There's probably a lot of overlap in the jelk and goon community. And and he's got like a super recessed chin.
Yeah.
Like he's just not alpha at all. And so Superman is jealous in that way that like this beta male is able to achieve this success with the Goblin that I could never even dream of.
Exactly. So we have to go. So let's say that we end the scene with Superman flying off.
Yeah, Superman flies off, obviously.
Yes.
You don't know exactly where, his intentions are slightly obscure, but
Yes.
generally his allegiances.
Exactly. So now we need to, what's Max Gunn up to? He's still a very main character of the story.
Max Gunn is sort of a character. He's reoccurring. He's been a reoccurring character for several movies at this point. Max Gunn.
He's at a playground.
Cut to the White House.
Okay.
Cut to the White House. Joe Biden is there. He's giving a speech.
Yes.
I saw... No. Joe Biden, he's about to go outside, and he's like, I saw it. He's talking to Kamala Harris. He's like, I swear I saw a gobbo. I swear.
I told you they were real.
Like I saw a gobbo. It was hiding behind your leg. You didn't look down, but there was a gobbo. Kamala. He's like, Kamala. He like gets real up into her ear. Kamala, I saw a gobbo. It looked like it. I saw a gobbo.
Joe.
It climbed up into your pants and went inside your pussy.
Joe, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's okay, Joe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Smiles with a big, suspicious, goblin-esque grin.
Yeah. She's like,
I don't think it's that big of a deal, Joe.
Max Gunn. Enter Max Gunn. Hello, Mr. President.
hello, Kamala. And he doesn't recognize Kamala Harris as the vice president.
Hello, Mr. President. He uses his big, long finger to grab Joe Biden by the neck and pull him over so we can sort of give him a side hug.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Max Gunn.
It's good to see you again.
I haven't seen you since whenever I was bouncing little boys on both my legs, all three of my legs at the same time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you since I was bouncing you up and down on my back when you were riding me like a bronco.
Yeah. He's like, it's good to see you too, Mr. President.
It's good to see you too, Mr. President. I'm happy that you hired me as your Secretary of the CIA and defense and
Yeah.
guns.
And then Joe looks at him and is like, how's your old friend the Grinch? He's...
I don't know. That's just such a. Joe Biden looks over to Max Gunn. How's your friend the Grinch? How's your friend the Grinch? He's like, well, he's been joking. And Joe Biden's like, joking? Now, which thing did I do with my penis is that again?
Like, Max Gunn looks at Joe Biden. He's like, you know, the Grinch. Has an obsession recently. He keeps talking about goblins.
He keeps talking. The Grinch has an obsession. You mean joking? Like, no, gobbos.
Yes, gobbos.
And it zooms in on Joe
And
Biden's
Joe Biden,
face,
like-
and his eyes narrow, and he's like,
And then all of a sudden, Kamala Harris comes up and she's like,
There's no such thing as gobbos.
Oh.
There's no such thing as goblins.
she waddles over like a goblin.
and then
There's no such thing as gobbos.
we can't reveal anything about her intentions yet.
yeah,
So-
no, this is sort of.
So
we
like
don't know
Max
exactly
Gunn
what's
like
going
looks at
on.
her and he's like, "Why are you talking to me, you woman?" I only talk to men. And like what he does, he does this with his finger, like it makes this and like flicks her.
Yeah, he-
but like as he flicks her, his finger gets really long and like shoots her all the way across the White House. But then Joe Biden looks at Max Gunn. He's like, "Come to my office later on. We need to discuss these
Come to my
gobbos."
office. He gives him a sly little smirk. Come
Yeah.
to my office. Come. Dot,
To
dot,
my
dot.
office.
Come. Dot, dot, dot.
And Max Gunn looks at him and he's like, "We're going to discuss this gobbo issue." And he's like, "We could worry about that later." And then the scene ends.
Yeah, the scene ends.
Back
now we're
to the
back with the
Grinch.
Grinch. So the Grinch is now basically he has a camera up.
Yes.
And what he's done is he's constructed a machine that can transport him into different multiverses so that he can find the goblin. He's like, I've been doing research at the library. Actually, first, before that scene, there's a scene where he's at the library. He's doing research. There's sort of a montage.
We should have it's like a music video, but what should the music video be?
It should be Believer by Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
No. It should be. Okay.
We should look up goblin song. I'm gonna look up goblin songs on
Crazy
Spotify.
Goblins.
Yeah, being a goblin's hard. Being a goblin is a challenge.
Is this it?
He's so cheeky. We get up to no good. Being goblin.
Okay, before we get copyright strike, that was 20 seconds. My
yeah,
bad.
yeah. Our channel, our podcast will be eliminated. But
Yes.
basically, yes. Either that. I'm thinking it's either that or like what's the
Send Me On My Way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that should be that. That's
That's
also
a way
good
better one.
yeah,
And it's just
a
like
montage of him like reading different
Goblin
different Gobbo scriptures,
like setting
different-
up cameras and
yeah,
stuff.
different and he's like setting up. He's building the machine, and the Grinch is like, okay, time for me to test my interdimensional machine. Grinch gets sent through the interdimensional machine. Where does he end up?
1945.
He ends up 1945, Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Bum bum bum. His machine has been destroyed. He doesn't know how to get a power source for it. It was powered by some special material.
Yes.
So he's there. He's in Auschwitz in 1945, and he's like, well, this is gonna be a hairy one to get out of.
Yeah.
Spreads his hairy asshole. But yeah, so basically the Nazis they think they're like, move on, and then they like poke him and they stab him and
Yes.
they try to push him, so they push him into the Jews that they're
Yes.
moving on, and then that's sort of the dramatic end point
Mm-hmm.
of that part of the story. Then we go back to Superman.
Where's his
Superman doesn't
apartment?
know where the Grinch is. He doesn't know where the Grinch is, so he has to go up to the North Pole and he asks Santa.
Oh, okay.
Santa's sort of this wise character.
He's like sits up in like a Buddha pose and everything.
Yeah, Santa is Muslim.
Oh yes, my bad, my bad.
Santa's Muslim. Superman arrives at the North Pole to
Yes.
meet with Santa, and they're basically discussing. He's like, "Do you know where the Grinch lives?" And then Santa's like, "You deliver presents to everybody in the world. Do you know where the Grinch lives?" And Santa's like, "Well, actually, he's the only person who I don't know where he lives because I don't like him very much. He's kind of smelly and stinky." And then on the big fucking sirens, there's like a bunch of like words. There's a bunch of fucking words that Superman doesn't understand, and then. And then Santa's like, "Oh, it's time to pray to Allah."
Yeah.
And he gets down on his hands and knees.
Yes.
And Superman, as a polite gentleman, also begins to pray
prays.
to Allah.
Yes.
And then that scene sort of cuts, and now
Yes.
we're back at Joe Biden and Max
Max
Gunn.
Gunn. They both walk out of the Oval Office, and wiping sweat off their brows, and then Joe looks to Max Gunn and he's like, "That was fun. Now, what were you telling me about these gobos?"
I was like, I'm telling you, President, they're not real. Look, I've seen so much of not gobos. I've seen so many not goblins that I just can't believe that there could be a real goblin.
Yeah.
The president's like, "I swear I saw it." And then Sir Max Payne is like, "This is weird, okay? I'm suspicious of this situation right now." Because it's like, one thing, the Grinch, kind of a weird guy. But Joe Biden has his act together.
Yes.
He wouldn't...
He's like the most intelligent man. He's our
he
president.
wouldn't miss... Like, if there wasn't a gobbo there, he wouldn't have seen one.
Yes.
And so he must have seen something. And so Max Payne's... Max Gunn. So Max Gunn's getting kind of suspicious.
We need to make it to where Max Gunn sees the goblin.
Max Gunn can't see a goblin yet. It does have to be something that's built up to throughout the story.
Okay.
Max Gunn, what he does is he goes
You know what?
to Guantanamo Bay.
To Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, he goes to Guantanamo Bay. He goes into the deepest, lowest level of Guantanamo Bay. No, Max Gunn's like, "I don't believe it. I don't buy this for a second."
All
and
of a sudden,
he speeds off in his fucking Dodge Challenger.
Yeah.
He speeds off at 20 miles an hour in his Dodge Challenger going,
Yep.
and Joe Biden's like, "Fine, I guess I'll have to deal with this myself."
All
And
of a
he
sudden-
goes to Guantanamo Bay.
Oh.
And he goes down an elevator to the secret underground prison. And Joe Biden, he goes in there, and like as he walks down the hall, the lights turn on,
Yeah.
deep underground. And at the end of the hall, he's like,
A retina scanner.
"Well, you told me all those years ago, you said that I would need your help one day. And that day might just be today. You warned me about gobos crossing at the border, and I didn't listen."
But now we have
A dark figure stands up and approaches the light.
Yeah.
Well. It looks like you needed me after all. President, Donald Trump says,
Yeah.
and quotes, quoting with his fingers. He also has a little mask on, one of those little masks that
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter had. It's like, he takes it off. He opens his mouth and his big, stinky breath seeps through the glass.
Yeah.
And infests Joe Biden's nose. He's like, "I don't like dealing with stinkers like you. I don't like dealing with people who jack me off."
Yeah. Joe Biden's like, I need your help now.
"We need to gather up every single gobbo." I know exactly how this story is going to go now.
I was gonna say they should do a fusion
I've just
dance.
I've just connected okay, you'll see.
Okay.
So he's like, we have to round these gobos. I've seen videos on the internet. I watched top 10 lists online, and I know for a fact these gobos, they're real, and they are out for blood. They're out for mischief. They're out for chaos. Donald Trump's like, it sounds like you have a bit of, it sounds like you, fuck. It sounds like you have a bit of an infestation problem. It sounds like you need somebody to figure out how to round these gobos up. Sounds like you need somebody to round these gobos up in some sort of camp.
Yeah.
It sounds like we need. It sounds like we need somebody to round these gobos up. It's like
And Joe's like,
I know,
as much as I don't like this.
as much as I don't know what's going on here, I know one thing. And that's that I need you. I need you to round these gobos up.
I need your power. I think they should fusion dance. I think that'd be funny.
That look, what's
Okay.
I'll
okay,
work it in. It's gonna be worked in. It won't be a dance,
Okay.
but it'll be something.
Okay.
But but it's still illegal for Trump to leave the
Guantanamo
secret
Bay.
bottom level of Guantanamo Bay. And so Joe Biden's like, here. He hands Trump a little metal cube, and he pulls out his own metal cube, and it's like, we're gonna press these buttons, and then once they do. Okay, what I was going to do is have them both teleport and then accidentally fuse together, but I've decided instead we're both going to touch these. And whenever you do, you're going to turn into a little bump on my shoulder. And you'll whisper things into my ear and tell me how to fix this gobbo problem. Donald Trump's like, that sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
Fades to black. So who are we with now?
The Grinch. We have to get back around to the Grinch.
Yeah, we're back to the Grinch. The Grinch is being herded into Auschwitz. And he's like, the Grinch is like, fuck, I have to make my interdimensional transporter work. It's like
I'm trying to think of how.
no, I'm imagining something. Grinch is looking around him at all the people, and he's like, oh my god, I'm in fucking Auschwitz. Fuck.
I can't fucking believe this.
Can't fucking believe this shit. And then the Grinch is looking around, and he begins noticing something about the Jewish people.
Oh no.
He sees one person like walk by him, and he's like, he sees a Jewish person in a trench coat. Walking by. He's like, hey, no, the Grinch doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is actually better. The Grinch, he's like walking around, and he's like, why did that Nazi just push me into this thing? Where am I? What is this? He sees a person walking a trench coat that's also being guided by the Nazis. He's like, go to here. And then he's like, hey, where am I? And the person turns around, and they're like, and it's three gobos stacked on top of each other.
Oh,
and the Grinch screeches in terror. He knocks the gobos down. The three goblins start scattering.
Yeah.
And then the Nazis one by one.
Okay, what it should be is, instead of seeing that it's three of them stacked on top, it's just the face of the top one.
Yeah.
So he shoots the top one, and then all of a sudden, it falls over. And it's just the one, but the two are still in the trench coat.
Yeah,
and so they lose their mind, and they're like running and scattering around.
Yeah, and the Grinch is like, hold on, wait a second, wait a minute, what? And then one of the goblins turns to him, and he's like, dude, fuck. One of the goblins like gets out of the trench coat, he's out in the open, he's exposed, and he turns to the Grinch, and he's like, fuck. And then his head explodes because one of the Nazis snipes him. And it's like, yeah, and the Grinch is like, this is terrible. I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
And then he walks through the gates. This is the reveal. We already know it's Auschwitz. We can already sort of tell through context clues. The Grinch, only just now is it setting in. He sees the big arch. Yeah. He's like,
oh no.
Oh, and it cuts.
Yeah.
To Max Payne.
No, we got to go back to Superman.
But Max Payne didn't get a full scene.
Oh, okay,
earlier,
you're right.
So Max Payne goes first. Max Gunn. We cut back to Max Gunn.
Yeah.
Max Gunn, he's driving down the road in his, Dodge fucking Charger.
Yes.
Going 800 miles an hour. Just he drives at like 80 miles an hour, and like he drives in the same lane as somebody going 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And he gets right to whenever he's about to touch them, and they swerves into the other lane, slams on his fucking gas, and like honks his horn,
Yeah.
and flips the person next to him off.
Flips it off his finger
This
grows.
big fucking finger. He flips him off, and it just keeps growing, dude. And it's playing.
Born to be Wild.
yes, it's playing Born to Be Wild. And then he's driving super fast, and the time passes.
Yeah.
It's at night. He's driving in his headlights. Something's weighing on his mind, and like you see flashes of Joe Biden, and Joe Biden saying, "Goblet, gobbos."
Yeah,
The Grinch is
gobbos,
saying, "Oh, I think I saw a goblin." And it's just these like images flashing through his mind. He's like, "They're not real. They can't be real." There's a bit of, and then we have a bit of a flashback into Max Gunn's past, and he's like, "Your mother was killed by goblins." No. It's like, it's a flashback, and he's like, "Goblins killed mommy," and his dad was like, "Goblins aren't real."
They're not
Max
real.
Gunn, goblins aren't real.
You
They're
don't-
not real. And he starts throwing shit at his
Yeah.
Goblins aren't real.
Like he just gets in the corner, crying.
It starts off. No, it's like this I don't know why I said it. It's like there's this mosaic that sort of goes through like his childhood, and it starts out with his mom being like, "Oh, I saw a goblin outside, honey," and the husband's like, "Goblins aren't real, sweetie. Come on," and then he starts beating her.
Yeah.
No, he just says it. And he's like, "What, are you crazy?" And then like she keeps talking about seeing goblins, and he's like, "Goblins aren't real," and he starts getting drunk and more violent.
Yeah.
This is all Max Gunn's dad, and then eventually she's like, "There are goblins. They're gonna kill me. They said." They said, and then he's like, "Goblins aren't real."
And smashes a bottle over her head.
Yeah. And then it cuts to her being stabbed by 1,000 tiny knives. There's a bunch of goblins climb all over her and stab her. And Max Gunn is in the room, and he's like,
Oh my god!
"God."
He looks like the kid from Home Alone 2. He's like,
Yeah, whenever he's he
slaps his
looks like
feet
fucking
together.
Macaulay Culkin. Whenever
Yeah.
he puts the aftershave on, and he's like, "No!" And then his dad's like, "What happened? What happened?" He's like, "Gobbo's killed her. Gobbo's killed my mom. Gobbo's killed mom." He's like, "Gobbos aren't real."
Yeah.
And he just beats the shit out of Max Gunn.
That's funny. And then because it goes back to Max Gunn in his car.
Yeah. So he's like crying. He's like, "They're not real. They're not."
Yeah. And he's driven into the desert now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in the middle of the desert.
Yes.
There's nothing else.
And he stops the car and he's
Yeah.
like, I need to take a breather real quick. So he steps outside into the desert and he lights like a cigarette and everything. And like he's like holding it with like his really long fingers and like he just curls it up to his hand.
He holds it, and like there's this vague, like you look at the shot is like you see his head, and then you see in the distance there's a little light. And
Yeah.
his fingers curl back, and it's revealed that it's a cigarette that's
Yep.
being held out like 200 feet away.
Exactly. And then like as he's like taking a hit from the cigarette, he's like looking out into the desert, and like all of a sudden he's like, he sees something out in the desert.
He sees a silhouette out in the desert.
Yeah.
I gotta stop this recording
Oh, okay.
and change the batteries real quick.
Okay.
Okay, good. I might have double clicked it that one time that it was doing weird stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then we'll check this one again.
All right.
So basically, he sees little silhouettes running out in the desert in
Yes.
the distance. It's like, no.
It's like from the scene from I Am Legend.
He throws his gun. He throws his cigarette on the ground, puts it out on his foot. Smash cuts to him putting his foot down on the gas, going down the road at like 8 billion miles an hour, just blaring Skillet.
Yeah. Yeah. And as he's getting closer to the silhouettes, it's like it'll be a cam from like the windshield cam.
Yeah, the windshield cam.
And then like all of a sudden, like right as like the chorus of the Skillet song starts playing,
No. It's not right as the chorus. It's right as the monster voice comes in. It says,
Feel like a monster.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the goblin slams into the windshield.
yeah. And like it cuts to black and then it fades back in and it's like ding ding ding, like it's like the car and he's like sitting and he's like, oh fuck,
Oh fuck!
and he gets out and he's like, oh fuck.
And his
pulls
finger,
it.
he hooks it like this.
He picks it, he hooks it up and hooks
Brings
it
it
up
right
to him.
up to his face, and he's like,
come here.
yeah, exactly.
And it's like, oh fuck, dude, you fucking fuck, I'm fucked up, dude. He's like, the goblin's like looking down, like Max Gunn's freaking the freak out.
His
He's
whole worldview is being shattered.
like he's remembering the repressed memories
Of
like
the 1,000 goblins on his mother.
1,000 goblins killing his mom, and he's like, goblins are real, they're real. And the goblin's like, oh dude, you fucked me up, dude. Oh
Dude,
fuck.
what's your insurance
I'm
information?
fucking fucked up, dude. Fuck. The goblin's like looking at his broken arm. He's
Yeah.
like, fuck, dude. I'm fucked up, dude. Oh, he's like, he holds his hand up to his gobbo ear and there's blood coming out. Dude, oh my god. And he, and Max Gunn's like, you killed her. And then he wraps his finger around it so hard that it explodes.
Yeah.
It's like, gobbos are real.
He turns around in his broken car.
No, he doesn't turn around. He just puts it in reverse.
He
and
starts
starts running
reversing back to the White House.
backwards to the White House.
All right. So that was a good way of like really like everyone knows now
Everyone
except Superman.
Superman doesn't know. Superman is the unknown.
Yeah.
So
How is he gonna? Because he doesn't even know where the Grinch is.
he doesn't even know where the Grinch is. But basically, okay, so Superman is definitely the thread that we have to pick up on the quickest. So Superman, okay, there are no women in this story.
No.
The only woman was Zendaya,
And she died in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, and Kamala Harris.
Oh
which
yeah.
I'm just gonna say there's a twist involved with that,
Oh, okay,
and
yes, yes.
she's not quite going to be a woman. We could say that some of the Max Gunn's mom. Basically, women are
Yeah.
just props for the story. They're just plot devices. But you have so we're back with Superman. Superman basically.
Has converted to Islam.
Superman has decided he just stayed with Santa and converted to Islam, and now he's like, yeah, dude, I don't really care that much about the Grinch actually anymore. I'm kind of chill
kinda
with
over
this.
it.
It's like I know
I
that
found inner peace.
I
With
know
Allah.
after I die I'm gonna
Yeah.
be in heaven with Allah, and so it's like I'm kind of okay with that now. I've made peace with this.
Yes.
Seeing how peacefully and orderly, Santa's workshop
Yeah.
is.
The little elves.
Yeah.
So is that the end of Superman's plot? Is that how he ended? He just went to see Santa and gave up.
No. Superman, he has things to do yet. Superman, he flies out and he's like, okay, I see this Earth, and I see Allah's kingdom,
Yes.
but all of these little tiny men want to play their little game of countries when they want to be kings of their own countries. The king of America, the king of Russia, the king of China. They call themselves different
False
things, but they
prophets.
all want to be kings. But there's only one king of this world, and his name is Allah.
Flies off. He'll come back later.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
everyone meets up at the White
Yeah, no,
House.
he flies onto Mars.
Yeah.
He goes to Mars and starts converting. We don't know what he's doing there yet.
Yes.
It'll come to play at the end.
Back to the
So-
Grinch. Or no, did we?
I think it actually makes sense to cut back to the Grinch at this
Okay.
point because the Grinch has the most. He's
The title of the movie.
in a pretty bad situation. So, the Grinch is like, okay, there are some Jews here, but there are also a lot of Gobbos.
Yes.
There are a lot of Gobbos in the Jew camp. And he's like, well, why are there so many Gobbos here? And it's like, is it because Gobbos look Jewish? Is that the reason? And the Gobbo, there's a little Gobbo that's like in his ear, like whispering to him. He's like, no, actually, it's not actually because of that. That would no.
That's
it's
horrible.
It's actually just because goblins are just not like they can tell the difference between goblins and Jews. They don't really look particularly alike. Goblins are obviously different looking. They're not being confused with Jews in any way.
Yes.
They're just another group of people who the Nazis don't like.
Exactly.
That's it. You know, they're another. Again, it's important to note that they are, you know, in this story they play a role as sort of deviancy with the Grinch.
Yes.
And basically, the Grinch is like, this is terrible that this is happening to you.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kill Gobos because I felt so uncomfortable with the fact that they gave such good head, yet they're Gobos.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to kill not just you, I wanted to kill every Gobbo. That was the feeling I had, you know?
But now that I've seen you in this concentration
Now that I've
camp,
seen what happened to you and where this sort of thinking leads, like, honestly, dude,
not cool.
I'm just glad that you gave me good head. It's the same goblin. He meets the same goblin.
Yeah, from 1945.
Yeah, that goblin knew that the Grinch would be really important one day for the goblins. He's like, you can't help this generation. He's actually a Jewish goblin. He's like, you might not be able to help us here, but in the future, you will be able to help Gobos in the future. And Gobbo
Now
is,
go. And then
Yeah.
he's like, I have one gift for you before you leave. And it's his time machine material.
Yeah, I stole it.
I stole it from the Nazis.
You had to see. I knew you had to see the horrors of the anti-Gobbo hate. And Grinch was like, "Thank you. You've really opened my mind. I'm a lot more open-minded now, honestly." Yeah. Honestly, if I was this open-minded before, I might not have had somebody murder my ex-fiance and her new boyfriend.
And then the Gobbo's like, run along now. You have bigger things to achieve.
You have bigger things to achieve that will help a lot of little people. It's gonna take a big heart like yours to help a lot of little people like us. Yeah. The Grinch goes back.
Yep.
But
So now we have Joe Biden, right?
Joe Biden and Trump is Joe Biden. You see Joe Biden pans over to the right. There's nothing there. Pans down. Trump is a little mole on the side of his neck.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now we have to organize all. So first things first, we have to initiate cards. We have to have everybody sign up to get. Basically, they have to get these little slips that tell them that they've been tested and they're not Gobos. If they don't have these slips, they cannot come into stores. Basically, it's like vaccine cards, except it's cards that tell people that you're not a Gobbo. And there's all these protesters. They're like, we don't want
Gobbo rights.
Gobbo. We don't want to be tested for whether or not we're actually a stack of goblins.
Goblins aren't real. It's the anti-Gobbos. They don't think Gobbos are real.
Goblins aren't real. This is a really fucking confused political analogy right now. It's like, Gobbos aren't real. It's like, they're real, and we're gonna kill them.
No doubt.
They are real. One day they won't be real, but one day there won't be so many Gobbos left. But for the time being, the Gobbos still real. We have to deal with this is what the real world. This is the real world. There's Gobbos. We gotta get rid of the Gobbos. and Biden's like, that's right. And Kamala Harris is like, what?
You would want to get rid of the Gobos.
It's like, Kamala, why don't you get your test to see whether or not you're a Gobbo?
Joe Biden looks at Kamala and is like, Kamala, you're acting a little crazy. You might need to get your pussy checked. She just skitters back into the darkness.
Kamala, you're acting crazy. You got like a PBS or something? Kamala, are you on your menopause cycle? Kamala, are you on your menopause cycle or something? You're acting crazy.
So is Kamala Harris going to be a bad guy?
Well, I think it's clear.
Okay.
Well, we know the direction that she's going, but it's like...
But she's... Okay, because she's related to the goblins.
It's clear. So basically what happens is Joe Biden's like, you need to be... why haven't you gotten your card yet? Why haven't you gotten your not Gobbo card yet? And she's like,
Starts shaking violently.
I don't know.
Yeah. She
I just wanted to see what the side effects are first.
and then Trump looks at Kamala and like tells Joe like, she's looking a little green.
Joe, I have something to tell you. Shit, I've known a lot of women in my life, and that bitch is a Gobbo. That bitch is a fucking Gobbo.
What? I can't hear you.
I know Gobbo tits when I see him.
Joe looks at her, pulls out a giant gun.
Pulls out a giant syringe. All right, we're going to abolish right now. Injects it directly into her big red eyeball.
Yeah.
It's like, no!
All of a sudden,
Her skin deflates. 50 Gobbos come out.
oh my god. And then Trump is like, oh my god, the Goblin Queen!
Oh my Gobbo.
The Secret Service agent starts shooting at the goblin.
The Gobbos start attacking the Secret Service Secret Service agents.
Trump's like, we gotta get out of here.
Hole bust through the wall. Guess who just came in their fucking Dodge Challenger
Yeah.
in reverse? Max Gunn.
Get in, Mr. President.
Mr. Presidents. Mr. and Mr. President, get in the car.
All of a sudden, like, I don't know, where does the vice president work? In the corner of the Oval Office?
Yeah, they work under the president's desk.
Right under
That
the
sounds
president.
like a joke of fucking conservative to make about Joe
Exactly.
Biden and Kamala Harris.
The fucking, so like underneath the president's desk is like the vice president's like kitty chair. And like there's like a box, and all of a sudden the box like has a red circle on it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it goes beep, beep, beep. And a light turns green and it opens up. Thousands of goblin spores release into the air. A contagious version of goblins. All of the Secret Service agents are infected with goblin disease. Every cell in the goblin's body, or every cell in the Secret Service body, turns into goblins.
There are a bunch of microscopic goblins basically running
Yes.
everywhere, wreaking absolute havoc.
Yeah. So as Max Gunn and the presidents are driving away, there's like a wave of goblins coming
Like in
after
World
them.
War Z,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. And then Joe Biden's like, "Can't this thing go any faster?" And then he's driving 20 miles an hour.
Can this thing go any faster? Yes, actually. So extends his finger out, digs it into the ground 5 miles ahead, scrunches his finger, the car shoots forward. He basically uses his finger to propel the car.
Yeah.
He uses his finger like a fucking,
The pole vault.
Yeah, he uses his fucking finger to pole vault the car fucking 20 miles in like
Yeah.
2 seconds.
And then the president is like, "Well, Mr. Max Gunn, what are we gonna do?" And
Yeah.
then Max Gunn is like, I let a friend down. I didn't believe him whenever he was telling me there were goblins. I have to make things right."
I believe him now. He's like, we have to nuke the goblins.
Yeah.
We have to nuke the goblins. Kill them all.
And then we cut to Mars.
Yeah.
Superman is their king. All of the Martians are now converted to the religion of Islam.
Yes.
And one of one of his advisors is like, Lord man, Lord man, Caliph Superman.
What are your orders?
There's been a disturbance on the planet Earth.
It's like, what?
The glorious kingdom that Allah hath created is being sullied by goblins.
Superman's like, "This will not stand."
And he just flies off,
Yeah.
flying back to Earth.
So now we have to go to the Grinch.
The Grinch, yes.
So the Grinch is friends with the goblins.
The Grinch basically has learned the value of the goblins.
Yes, yes.
So the Grinch sort of reappears back at his fucking apartment, and he turns on the news and he's like, "What is this? What the hell? What the hell?
And he's like, view from space shows America attacked by goblins, and it's like a satellite view of America, and there's like green all over it.
He's like, I love the color green.
He said, it looks nice.
It looks much better now that it's green. But then he's like, the president is going to nuke America now. Kill all of the goblins once and for all.
And it's like it's fucking Joe Biden. He's like,
Yeah, basically we're gonna make the goblins goblin.
Yeah.
The goblins are gonna get goblin away. And he's like, no, this can't happen. And and Max Gunn is like, yeah, and I wouldn't have even known what to do if it wasn't for my friend the Grinch who told me about gobos.
Yeah.
The Grinch is like, no, I have to stop this.
and he he uses the last bit of energy in his fucking multi-dimensional thing. He presses the button. It seems today that all you see is violence in movies, and the Grinch is in the fucking Family Guy theme song.
Yes.
And he's like, he walks into the house, and Lois is like, oh my god,
It's the Grinch.
oh my god, the Grinch from the Grinch movies. Peter's like, holy fucking shit, it's the Grinch from the holy fucking shit, it's the Grinch from the Grinch movies. The Grinch from the Grinch movies is in my house.
What are you doing in my house, the Grinch?
Peter, we have to stop the president from killing all the gobos. He's like,
And this is like that one time I shit on Lois's face.
this is like that one time that I beat up the president for trying to kill all the gobos, and they're teleported there. The Grinch,
the Grinch understands the power of Peter.
the way it started was like the Grinch was like, I don't have the ability, like I can't get there in time, right? This
Yeah.
only transports me through dimensions. But that's why he chooses to transport to Family Guy, because the cutaway gags allow him to transport through dimensions.
Yes.
Wait 10 minutes.
Oh no, we gotta wrap this up.
Okay, but we're nearing the climax anyway, so it's
Yes.
actually working out. So, the Grinch arrives.
Stop! You have to cut it out!
You have to be nice.
We can't kill all the goblins!
Max Gunn looks at the Grinch. I'm sorry, Fred.
What? I thought that you had to kill all the goblins. Goblins kill my mom.
And the Grinch is like, what? I didn't know that they did that. And then a goblin appears. He's like, no, your mom actually was a bad person and evil and was just a bitch. And the guy's like, oh, all this time I thought that you guys were evil and that's why you killed my mom. But she's actually a bitch. Okay. That's fine, I guess. And then Joe Biden's like, hold on a second. So you mean to tell me that I shouldn't blow up all these goblins? The Donald Trump mole's like, you have to blow up the goblins. If you don't blow up those gobos, they're going to spread. They're going to spread like the worst sort of mold. Joe Biden's like, well, if we shouldn't blow up those gobos, then what do we do? It's like, the Grinch is like, have you tried, I don't know, talking to him?
Yeah.
And Biden's like, I haven't tried that. And Trump is like, no, don't talk to the goblins. They're little
They'll smooth talk you.
Their little gobbo tongues. They'll lick your brain and make you think that they're not evil. And then Joe Biden's like, time for you to shut up. And he squishes him like a pimple, and his brain pops out, and he dies. That's the end of Trump's involvement.
Yeah.
And he's like, then Max Gunn's like, fuck. And then he puts it in reverse and starts driving back there again. And now, so then they're at the summit with the Gobos, the Gobbo lords, and the Gobos are like, hey dude, we just like want to chill out.
Yeah,
and
like
the president's like, oh, well that's this is goofy. I don't know how this happened. It's like I don't know. Okay, you guys
he
can
just
chill
has a
out.
brain
I guess
aneurysm and dies.
you could chill out. I guess. No, that's for the end.
Oh, okay.
You could chill. I guess you guys could just like sort of hang out. I guess. But then
Suddenly,
Superman
the sun is
arrives
from the sky.
So yeah, the sun is blocked from the sky. It is Superman and 10,000 legions of Martian super soldiers.
Yeah.
And he's like,
We've come for...
I've come to kill all the gobos.
and then the Grinch is like, no, no, no. And then he's like, fuck. And then Max Gun's like, what are we gonna do? Superman is so strong and powerful and fast and can shoot laser eyes and can punch so hard and fly. And then the Grinch is like, I know what to do. And then he's like, shoot the nukes at the Martian legions.
Yeah.
And he starts shooting the nukes at the Martian legions. This does nothing to Superman, though. Superman flies down. He's obliterating gobos left and right. You know, Peter Griffin. Yeah, Peter Griffin.
I forgot Peter Griffin.
There's like
was
the,
there.
there's the
Oh my God!
there's like-
Superman's killing all
there's
those
the
goblins.
fucking money shot of the whole film.
Yeah.
Is fucking Joe Biden, Max Gunn, the Grinch, and Peter Griffin.
Yeah. The Grinch. The Grinch.
Yeah, the Grinch. No, that's actually no. That one's not yet.
Oh, okay.
This one is sort of just a This is a different one. That's at
It's
the
a
end.
cool guy song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's intergalactic.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. I'm on your plane.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, the first plan is obviously to get Peter Griffin to transport Superman to another dimension.
Yeah.
And so Peter Griffin just keeps like running up to Superman. Remember the and then Superman
Yeah,
will,
he
like
beat him.
fly away really fast. And like things keep interrupting him. Joe Biden tries to hold Superman. Superman knocks him away.
Yeah.
Max Gunn wraps him up in his fingy. Joe Biden injects him with just, I don't know, whatever the fuck he
Anti-gobbo
injects into
fluid.
himself every day.
Yeah.
And then Superman's like, oh, what the fuck? He's like just a ton of fucking like painkillers and muscle relaxers.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa. And, like Superman's face starts sagging.
Yeah.
Max Gunn has him in his fucking fingery grip. And then, you know,
And Peter Griffin walks
Peter
up
Griffin
to
walks
him.
up and he's like,
Very
remember
dramatic.
the time? And he walks up and he touches him. He's like, remember the...
Yeah.
Superman uses his laser eyes to blow Peter to
Oh
shreds.
no.
He bursts out of Max Gunn's arms, shattering his fingy into 1,000
Oh
pieces.
no.
Max Gunn is screaming. Joe Biden says, this is what I call a switcheroo. He pulls off his fucking button-up shirt to reveal a fucking bomb vest.
Oh no.
He runs up to fucking Superman. Superman, with one mighty punch, punches through him, grabs the mechanism that would start the bomb, and throws it at Max
Oh
Gunn.
no.
Joe Biden is dead. Max Gunn just had a big bomb explode in his face. What do? The Grinch is on his knees crying.
This isn't what was supposed to happen.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what do I do? I don't know what to do.
He does that for 5 minutes.
It's like it's the moment like he's really hamming it up. He's gonna win an Oscar for this.
Yeah.
You know. Then an idea occurs to him, and his big Grinch smile finally shows up. It's the reveal for that, and he's like, "Hey, tough guy, over here!" And Superman's like, "What? You think you could stand up to my power?" And then Sonic comes and Superman kills him. But that's not actually what his plan was.
Yeah.
He's like, tough guy, over here. Superman's like, pathetic. You don't stand a ghost of a chance. You don't stand a gob of a chance against me, Muslim Superman.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, what's that over there? He's like, nothing, you idiot. Then, in a blink of an eye, a gobbo puts his succulent lips around Superman's super Kryptonian cock.
Yes.
And started sucking him off. And as he's sucking him, Superman could feel the microfibers tearing. Finally,
Yes.
somebody who can jelk his penis
Yes.
for him.
Yes.
And gives him great head. Superman lets out a mighty roar. Oh! Then everything falls silent. He falls to his knees. He pulls the gobbo off of his penis. He gives him a kiss on the mouth.
Yes.
It's like, I respect you, and I don't want you to like this.
I don't want to hurt you anymore.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I respect you. It's like I wouldn't just like come in your mouth and just like
be like, ew, gross. That would be kind of mean. And like, that'd be like dehumanizing a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
gross. Like, what? And just, but so he's like, he kisses him on each of his cheeks. He gives him so many kisses, and he hugs the gobbo. And he's like, I don't know why I did that.
Zooms out, the foot of the Grinch is shown. The Grinch.
Grinch. The Superman in his post-nut state
Yeah.
is like weakened. So the Grinch puts his fucking foot on Superman's head and like stomps him into the ground. He's like,
Curb something.
you better cut it out, punk. You
Yeah.
better cut it out. And Superman's like, I'm sorry, Grinch. I'm fucking sorry, dude. And he starts sucking his toes. And then the Grinch theme starts playing again.
Yeah.
Grinch, Grinch. Grinch, Grinch, Grinch. Grinch, Grinch, Grinch. Grinch, Grinch.
Yeah.
Grinch, 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 Grinch. Superman is just going
Slurping down on them
just
things.
slurping all of them. Grinch is like, yeah. And again, it's the same epic fucking camera work as the first time.
So
And
then,
he's like, I'm no longer Muslim. Superman stands up and he's like, I'm no longer a Muslim. I realized that I converted to Muslim in a state where I was just like sort of, I wasn't really Muslim. And I was sort of just using it as sort of a platform to sort of justify my own
Yeah.
insecurities, against like gobbos and
nice.
against gobbos and small creatures and critters and whatnot. And basically I'm changing my ways for the
Yes.
better. And I'm not a Muslim, but that doesn't mean I don't have a problem with it. I know some goblins are even Muslims, I've heard.
Yeah.
And then Max Gunn stands up and his fucking half of his head is burnt off and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now. The president's gone.
Yeah.
I guess that means I'm fired from my job. And then Grinch is like, I know just the thing. And the end of the movie, it's do. It seems today that all you see, and instead of Peter Griffin, it's Max Gunn. And then the credits roll.
But then there's a post-credit scene.
Yeah, there's a
And,
post-credits.
and all of a sudden, it's like a very cold, wintry blizzard. And then like the wind is like blowing snow, but then it stops and says the North Pole, and Santa's up there, and then Santa's like he's praying, and then he stops praying. He's like, "It looks like we have a false believer among us,"
and he
and then it ends.
And also like he's like looking at the news and the Grinch is the president.
Yeah,
Like, he's just not happy about that, and he turns off the TV.
and then this movie ends.
Yes.
So
Grinch 6 next year.
yes.